there a moment where you look back and say that was the lowest moment for me? That was the pivotal
I
moment.
had a few of them. I was worried how far my rock bottom was going to be. Where's rock bottom for me? And you would never have seen it. I'm very good at hiding it. No one would have ever seen it. But rock bottom, I mean, I don't even know if I hit it yet. Instead of taking a look inwards, I decided to look outwards at everybody else. And I just think, I just took it out on everybody else where I kind of landed. I took shots at everybody else, which is wrong. So obviously I want to apologise for that.
There's times where that level of loneliness, that's almost nearly killed me a couple of times.
Liam Payne, a name that became synonymous with success, fame, and a voice that defined an entire generation. But beneath the charming smile and the chart-topping hits, was there a man silently crying out for help? A man who, despite all the bright lights and screaming fans, was slowly losing himself to the pressures of fame, the burden of mental health struggles, and the weight of it all. In October, the world came to a sudden halt as news broke of Liam Payne's tragic death in Buenos Aires, Argentina. A fall from the third-floor balcony of a luxury hotel. But as the headlines spread, so did the questions. What really happened in the hours leading up to his death? What was going through Liam's mind that night? And why didn't anyone stop it? Was this simply an accident, or was it the tragic culmination of a lifetime of internal pain that none of us saw coming? Let's dive deep into the final days of Liam Payne. Just days before the tragedy, Liam Payne arrived in Buenos Aires for what should have been a time of joy and celebration. He was there to attend a concert by his former One Direction bandmate, Neil Horan. He checked into the Casa Sur Hotel, a luxurious spot in the trendy Palermo district, a place meant for relaxation and leisure. But what happened next would forever change how we remember Liam's final moments. To his millions of followers, Liam's life seemed perfect in the days leading up to that fateful night. On Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter, he shared moments that gave no hint of the darkness brewing inside. There were posts about playing polo, laughing at how intense the sport was, joking that he might be out of action for 6 weeks. His signature carefree tone made it seem like nothing was wrong, but was it all just a facade? Only hours before his tragic death, Liam's social media presence painted a picture of someone carefree, but was he really? Or was this the last attempt to show the world that he was okay, when, in reality, everything was spiraling out of control? On the night of October 16th, something deeply unsettling was happening behind the closed doors of room 307 at the luxurious Casa Sur Hotel in Buenos Aires. The hotel staff, initially unaware of the nightmare that was about to unfold, noticed disturbing changes in Liam's behavior as the evening progressed. This wasn't the Liam Payne the world knew, the charming, composed superstar who had graced stages across the globe. This was a man in the midst of what can only be described as a descent into chaos. Around 10:30 p.m., the hotel staff first became concerned when they noticed loud crashes coming from Liam's room. Reports suggest that the noises weren't just random disturbances. It sounded as if someone was deliberately destroying everything in sight, shattering furniture, slamming doors, and hurling objects against the walls. What could have driven him to such madness? As the sounds intensified, staff members rushed to the room, only to be met with one of the most harrowing scenes of their lives. According to the receptionist who called the police, Liam was out of his mind, destroying everything. The receptionist, trembling in her voice, mentioned that they believed Liam was under the influence of drugs and was completely out of control. This is where the controversy starts. Witnesses claim that instead of immediately intervening, some hotel staff hesitated. Could they have acted sooner to stop the tragic chain of events that were about to unfold? Could a quicker response have saved Liam's life? The question lingers. Was there a critical window of time in which Liam's behavior could have been de-escalated, potentially preventing the tragic end? It wasn't until nearly an hour later that the frantic call to local authorities was made. "We need help, and we need it now," the receptionist cried, her voice breaking under the weight of panic. But what took them so long? Were they afraid to approach him? Was there confusion about what to do next? Every minute that passed allowed the situation to spiral further out of control. By the time the police arrived at the Casa Sur Hotel, the scene they found was unlike anything they had expected. Liam had reportedly destroyed nearly every piece of furniture in the room. His hotel suite looked like it had been hit by a tornado of rage and despair. Broken glass was scattered across the floor, the television had been smashed, and the curtains were torn from their rods. And then there was the laptop. shattered beyond repair. What secrets had it held? Was Liam trying to erase something from his life? Or was it simply another victim of his outburst? When the police entered the room, Liam was no longer in a state of uncontrollable fury. He was eerily calm. Some reports even suggest that he was sitting silently in a corner, gazing out of the window as if contemplating something far darker than any of us could have imagined. Here's where the story gets even more controversial. It was during the initial investigation that authorities discovered clonazepam, a medication commonly prescribed to manage anxiety and panic attacks. This discovery has led to rampant speculation about the role the medication played in Liam's erratic behavior. But clonazepam was not the only substance found in his room. There were whispers of other, more illicit drugs possibly being involved, though no official report has confirmed exactly what else was in his system that night. Could this combination of substances have pushed Liam into a state of psychosis? Mental health experts have been quick to point out that clonazepam, when mixed with alcohol or other substances, can cause intense mood swings, aggression, and even hallucinations. Was Liam Payne, the global superstar, spiraling into a terrifying state of mind he couldn't escape from? Did he mix his prescribed medication with something dangerous, triggering a breakdown he couldn't control? What's even more alarming is the speculation surrounding the possibility that Liam wasn't taking his medication as prescribed. Friends close to the star revealed that he had been struggling to keep up with his mental health regimen for months. The grueling pressure of maintaining a public persona, mixed with the overwhelming weight of his personal struggles, reportedly led Liam to self-medicate, often at dangerous levels. Some claim that this wasn't simply a drug-fueled breakdown, but that Liam may have been self-sabotaging, deliberately pushing himself towards self-destruction in the days leading up to his death. Could he have been silently sending out warning signs that those closest to him either ignored or couldn't fully comprehend had the world failed to recognize his cries for help? But what happens next raises even more questions. After the initial police visit, sources say the officers left the room, believing that Liam needed medical help, not a criminal intervention. They called in paramedics to assess him, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. In a shocking turn of events, within minutes of the police leaving, Liam had fallen from his third-floor balcony. Authorities were immediately called back to the scene, but this time, it was a far graver situation. Liam Payne, once a member of one of the biggest bands in the world, was lying motionless on the pavement below. How had it come to this? What had happened in the moments between the police leaving and the fatal fall? This is where the controversy deepens. Witnesses from nearby rooms claim to have heard voices coming from Liam's suite moments before he fell. Some even allege they heard yelling. An argument, perhaps? Could someone else have been in the room with him during those final moments? Or were these sounds simply the echoes of Liam's own torment? To this day, investigators have yet to confirm whether Liam was truly alone when he fell, or if someone else may have been involved. The hotel's CCTV footage reportedly shows no one entering or leaving the room in the immediate moments before his death, but many have questioned the thoroughness of the investigation. Were all the cameras working? Could there have been blind spots? Adding fuel to the fire of speculation, there's the mystery of the two women who were spotted leaving the hotel earlier that night. Who were they? What role did they play in the events that transpired? While they've been questioned by authorities, little information has been released about their involvement, leading many to wonder, were they simply bystanders, or could they have witnessed something far more sinister? As the news of Liam Payne's death spread, the world began to reflect on the inner battles that Liam had fought so bravely for so long. In 2021, Liam gave a chilling interview on Stephen Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO podcast, where he spoke openly about his struggles with depression, addiction, and the overwhelming pressures of fame.
Is there a moment where you look back and say that was the lowest moment for me? That was the pivotal moment?
I had a few of them. I was worried how far my rock bottom was going to be. Where's rock bottom for me? And you would never have seen it. I'm very good at hiding it. No one would have ever seen it. But rock bottom, I mean, I don't even know if I hit it yet. You know what I mean? I feel like it's like one of those little graphs you see when it's like, oh, have we hit the you know,
like
the support, the market support? Yeah, are we there? This is support level. Oh my God. you know?
These haunting words have now resurfaced, painting a picture of a man who was not only battling his demons, but was fully aware of the toll it was taking on his life. Fans began to share the interview online, connecting the dots between the man who seemed to have it all and the one who was struggling to keep it together. The weight of being a global superstar at such a young age had taken a toll on Liam. His mental health struggles were no secret, but had they been underestimated by those around him? Could this have been a cry for help that went unanswered? As the news of Liam Payne's death spread, the world began to reflect on the inner battles that Liam had fought so bravely for so long. It was a reminder that no matter how much fame or success someone may have, it doesn't protect them from the harsh realities of mental illness. As the world came to terms with Liam Payne's death, the outpouring of grief from fans, friends, and fellow celebrities was overwhelming. The hashtag #RipLiamPayne trended worldwide as millions of people shared their memories, their heartbreak, and their disbelief over what had happened. But as the tributes poured in, so did the tough questions. Could more have been done to save Liam? Could someone have seen the warning signs and intervened? And how much of a role did the pressures of fame, mental health, and substance abuse play in this devastating tragedy? Fans began to ask if the entertainment industry itself shares some of the blame. The industry has a long history of pushing young stars to their breaking points, from mental health crises to addiction and everything in between. Had Liam become another victim of the dark side of fame? As authorities continue their investigation, forensic analysis and autopsy results are expected to provide more insight into the final hours of Liam's life. But until then, we're left with more questions than answers. Liam Payne's death is a tragedy that has shaken the world, and it serves as a harsh reminder that the pain we see on the surface is often just the tip of the iceberg. He was a man who brought joy to millions, but behind the scenes, he was fighting battles that many of us never saw. Could his death have been prevented? Was there a chance to save him? Or was this always where his journey was going to lead? These are the questions we're left asking, and as the investigation continues, we can only hope that the truth will one day come to light. For now, all we can do is remember Liam Payne for the incredible artist and person he was, and keep the conversation about mental health, addiction, and the pressures of fame alive, because tragedies like this should never be in vain.